Let's talk about coalition building. Let's talk about national elections. You see, a recent Emerson poll and Rasmussen poll came out and showing Donald Trump sitting at what? That can't be right. 34% approval according to Emerson, or 34.5 according to Emerson, 34% according to Rasmussen amongst black voters. That can't be right, right? Okay, well, it's not right. I don't want to burst your bubble. That's not right. No Republican nationally is currently going to get 34, 35% of the black vote in America. Traditionally, Republicans get around 7, 8%. That's the norm. Now, what do I mean by all this? Where does all this take you? You should realize that Donald Trump is gaining more ground with black voters than any other Republican has in quite some time. Is he gaining 34%? No, that's of course absurd. But he is gaining ground. You see, Barack Obama was elected president of the United States 2 times. And why? Well, there are a lot of reasons why. He ran a very smart campaign, gave a great speech. But the truth is, Barack Obama got 97, 98% of the black vote in the United States of America. If you can do that, you are very likely going to be president of the United States again. Well, the president of the United States. But other Democrats can't duplicate that. Joe Biden seems to be the best presidential candidate in the Democrat field with black Americans. I don't understand why. I don't pretend to understand why. It's not my area. But I do know this. Democrats need, not want, need 94, 95, 96% of the black people in America to vote for them, or they simply do not have enough support in other areas. This is the identity politics game they've played. This is the identity politics game they've chosen to commit themselves to. And the problem with that is, if you have a group that you've identified and all the black people are with us, and you take them and you put them in your back pocket and you say, we've got all them, now we can move on, and you start to lose them, well, you either have to get them back or you have to find votes somewhere else. Elections are about coalition building. And if Donald Trump is going to get 10, 15%, that's probably closer to the real number of black approval with Donald Trump, then it's already over for Democrats. And in fact, if it's half this number, let's say this 34% number is crazy, which I say it is crazy. Let's say it's half, 15, 16, 17%. That is not a Donald Trump win in 2020. That's a Donald Trump 40-plus states slaughtering, and also Republicans taking back the House and taking back the Senate. Now, I'm not predicting that right now, but that's what that number looks like if you look at the breakdown of numbers. And the truth of the matter is, Donald Trump is not leaving Democrats any lane, any vacuum to fill with the black community in America. Here's Donald Trump talking about it right now.
We've done more for African Americans in 3 years than the broken Washington establishment has done in more than 30 years. Last month, the African American unemployment rate reached the lowest level ever recorded in the history of our country. How do you lose that argument in a debate, right? The African American youth unemployment, this was so important to me. You remember how high it was, 60, 70%? Has now reached the lowest number ever recorded in the history of our country, doing really well. The African American poverty rate has reached an all-time historic low, lowest it's ever been. For the first time ever, most new hires of prime working age are minorities and women. First time that's ever happened.
That doesn't leave much of a lane for Democrats. He's right. When there's record low black unemployment, you have his prison reform bills, and you have illegal immigration. It's another issue that people do not realize that black community does care about, because when you have your country flooded with illegal immigrants, they don't go into the fancy schmancy neighborhoods. They go to a lot of poor black neighborhoods and take jobs that would otherwise be going to those people, and they know it. People are not stupid. People realize the truth. Now, this is not about black, white, Hispanic, whatever it may be. This is about elections. Step back with me and take a big, broad look at it. If Democrats are losing that percentage of black people in America, well, obviously they must realize it and they're reaching out to others, right? Except they're not. The Democrat Party has a severe tolerance problem, which is actually kind of hilarious because they're constantly claiming time after time after time that they're the tolerant party. They're the tolerant party. We are the party of tolerance. Look at how tolerant we are. Except they're not. You see, they'll welcome anybody in as long as you agree with every single thing that the radical left wants you to agree with. Look at how they're ripping apart two of their candidates. Andrew Yang, Asian dude. They're destroying Andrew Yang. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is a star, at least a video star. People love to, they want to hear Tulsi Gabbard speak. She looks like $1 million. She's a potential star in the making. Even some Republicans are intrigued by Tulsi Gabbard. I would argue most of that's just by how good she looks in a pantsuit. But the truth of the matter is they're intrigued. Oh, wow, that could be a lane there. Democrats might be able to seize on that, except they're not seizing on it. They're kicking her out. You remember the last debate. Tulsi Gabbard's pulling at like 5%, and they're still attacking her, trying to axe her. You see, they have this dogmatic view of what you must be to be a Democrat, and it's killing them. They've not only lost a percentage of black people, percentage of this, percentage of that, they're telling everybody else, you're not welcome. And anyone who left, they're screaming at them and scolding them and saying, good, I'm glad you're gone. We don't need you here anyway. You see this time and time and time again. And until the Democrat Party returns to the days, or at least attempts to return to the days, where all were welcome, they are going to be in the wilderness. We have a party in trouble. The Republican Party, on the other hand, and there are a lot of reasons behind this. Part of this is they got so beaten down over the years, thought of as, anti-black, anti-gay, anti-this, anti-that. They're just excited when anyone walks in the door. Now, sometimes you can find yourself being too tolerant of other ideologies or people who believe something different than what should be part of your party platform. But the truth is, it's a good thing. You go to a big Trump rally now, you see all kinds of people there, and that is a wonderful thing, especially when it comes to winning elections nationally. The hard truth is the Republican Party is now the tolerant party in America. You sign on for it, you say you're voting for them, you really don't see very much of, oh, I don't want his kind in here. Democrat Party does not have that right now, and it is crushing them, and that is wonderful. Now, again, I want to caution you, this doesn't last forever. Pendulums swing. Eventually, they will wake up. I think they're facing another couple big election losses before that happens, but they're going to wake up. At some point, let's say after 2020, they're going to look at a piece of paper that says, okay, we lost these people, and oh gosh, we lost them. We lost them, we lost them. At some point, they're going to look at that, and they're going to say to themselves, maybe it's time we got just a little bit more accepting. Maybe it's time we woke up. Maybe it's time we stopped railroading everybody who isn't a full commie. I don't know, though. The Democrats, if they were smart, they'd be Republican.